tonight is actually our youth representative, Mr. Joe Campus. And I've heard how wonderful Mr. Campus is. This is the first time I get to hear him myself, so I'd appreciate it if you could introduce him.
It's always an honor and privilege to come here and speak to young kids, because I work with a lot of young kids. I just want to talk to you all about consequences, decision making, and people you're hanging out with, and what's going on in school and in the neighborhoods y'all live in. I know I grew up in the southeast side of Houston, and when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I was physically abused by my stepmother. My mom and dad got divorced when I was, a child and an infant. So I went to live with my real dad, and he got married again, and for some reason, his wife didn't like me, so I was physically abused by her, and CPS got involved, so he had to sign his rights over as a father, or his wife was in prison for a long time. So he signed his rights over, his father went to live with my real mom. And growing up, I felt love deficient because I didn't have that proper balance in the home that I needed. My mom got with another man from Mexico. He's also a man that stood together to this day. And he wasn't really the father figure that I needed in my life. He's always been good to my mom and everything, but he wasn't that father that I needed. He wouldn't even discipline us. He'll let my mom do that. So I grew up love deficient pretty much, and I was looking for a way out of my own self. And growing up in the neighborhood that I was living in, pretty much the mentality that I had and all my friends had were, you're either going to grow up to be in this gang or you're going to grow up to be in that gang, one or the other. So I was in the gang at a young age. My first offense was when I was in the 5th grade. And then from there, it just got worse and worse and worse because I actually got away with it. Running from the cops. No offense, but running from the cops, I thought it was pretty cool. And so I just continued to hang around with the bad crowd. I even told my mom I wanted to get in some kind of sports or some kind of extracurricular activity. She said, I don't have enough money, and we were a low-income family. And so when I went to the middle school, that's where a lot of things happened. I had 5 felonies just in middle school, and just to join the Navy, I had to wait 3 months to get a waiver because I had a loaded gun in my locker in 6th grade. And because we used to get shot at, we used to do all kinds of things. I experienced so many drugs and all this, and the kind of mentality and the lifestyle I lived all happened before I was turned 15. So one day I got kicked out of school, and to give you an idea of the people I hung out with, how many people heard of South Park Mexican SPM? I know a lot of Mexicans, y'all need to raise your hand. But anyways, there's a lot of homies that rapped with him and were on his CDs and everything and hung out, and that's the kind of people I hung out with. One of my best friends, his name is Raymond Ayala, but his stage name is Lil Bean. And me and him were like that. We're brothers since the 4th grade. And we did a lot of dirt together. So when I got locked up, I only been locked up twice. First time I was in there for a day, in and out, so I thought I was being bad. So I got locked up the second time for criminal trespass after being expelled from school. And when I was locked up, I thought I was just going to go in and out, the same time I did the first time. But my lawyer told me at the time, I had 4 probation officers, and my probation officers told me that you're going to stay until you go to court, which is 2.5 weeks from now, because we don't want you to get in any more trouble. I was like, oh no, this ain't happening. So then I started to turn to God. I was like, Lord, I really don't know you. I heard about you. I know the 10 Commandments because they come out every Easter on TV. I only knew about God and Jesus, Joseph and Mary were his parents. That's it. And that he died on the cross for our sins. So I really didn't know much about him. But I began to morally think and know right from wrong, so I thought that, well, if there is a God, then I'm going to start doing things of God so I can get out of here, he can get me out of here, so I can go back doing what I was doing. So I started memorizing the Hail Marys, these rosary prayers and stuff. I got it down pretty good, but either way, it still wasn't getting me out of getting locked up. So one day, this Mexican evangelist, a street preacher, actually the day before, I had this little pocket Bible. It was a King James version. I don't know if y'all understand, any versions of the Bible, but that's probably one of the hardest versions to read. And when I began opening it, I started reading ye, they, thou, give it, come and say, here, do it. And I was like, what the heck is this? I was thinking about the Lord,
So I'm gonna wait till I'm a little bit older, then I'll think about, serving God, because I don't understand none of it. So I told that to the evangelist the next day, and he said, well, whether you believe it or not, the devil's right here and laughing at you, saying, as long as I got you waiting a little bit longer, you're going to come with me to hell, because you're not guaranteed you're going to live tomorrow. And that really stuck with me, because just days before, I attempted suicide in myself. Because I began to think in my mind, why was I created? Why am I here? I was in this solitary place in the cell by myself when I was locked up in West Dallas. And I began to think, what's my purpose here on earth? Why was I created? Why was I born? Why did I go through the hell I went through? Why did I see a lot of my friends die? Even to this day, I can't stand the smell of roses, because every time I smelled roses was when I went to funerals. So to me, roses smell like that, or flowers smell like that. And I would ask all these things, to myself, what was the purpose? Why was I born? Why am I here? What am I going to be when I grow up? And the only thing I knew was just gangbangs. The only thing I knew was doing drugs. I didn't even have a girlfriend because I didn't even have time for them. I thought they were a sign of weakness because of all the things I used to do. So then, what he said really stuck with me. So when I went back to my cell and I said, God, I don't know who you are. I don't know you even exist. But the only prayer I said to him was, if you're for real, then show me. And that's all I said. So I went to court. And when I went to court, there was this guy named J.J. Ramirez who has a ministry called Save Our Streets Ministries in Bryan College Station. Who my mom had told him to come over to my court, right across the street over here, the municipal court. And when I went to court, my lawyer, court-appointed lawyer, because we didn't have no money, but my court-appointed lawyer said, well, she's going to go ahead and send you to TYC, and from there, when you turn 18, she's going to send you to TDC. I was like, how is that even possible? I mean, are you really bluffing? Are you playing with me? Either way, I was really, scared, and I was like, no, I don't want to be locked up. So I was standing before the judge, and she started naming all these cases, and she was very upset. And I don't know if she was upset because I got away with it, or I never got locked up, or anything like that. And then she told the lawyer, do you have anything to say? And the lawyer said, well, the mom's requesting to have me sent to this man's facility in Bryan College Station in Brazos County, and she freaked out. She said, are you serious? Are you playing with me? Who is J.J. Ramirez? Where's Brazos County at? And she called the DA and said, I want you to get this man's information. I want you to find out everything you know about him. Because, sir, if you're lying, I'm going to lock you up too. And I was like, wow, I was really freaking out. Like, man, I was just standing there, before the judge. I was like, I wanted to cry. And the DA comes back and whispers something in that judge's ear, and everything changed. It was a 180 degree. I mean, she had smiles. I mean, everything just totally changed. And I was like, all right, what's going on? She told my mom, ma'am, I'm going to do you a big favor. Because there's so many mothers and parents that come in this courtroom and ready to send their kids off to TYC or wherever they may get locked up because they don't want to deal with them. Because these kids think that they know everything. These kids think that they're the parents, and they think that they're the ones that can pay the bills and wake up whenever they want and be lazy and all that. So I'm going to do you a favor and have your son sent to Brazos County for 1 year. And she looked at me and says, son, if you do good, after a year you have the right to sue your records. I just turned 15. I turned 15 and I was locked up. But she told me, if you come back here, I promise you will not see the light of day. And at that time, I knew God was real because he answered my prayer. So that's the bad side. The good thing, I went to Brazos County. They only had 3 middle schools there, and they transferred my transcript from over here in Houston over there. And not even the alternative school wanted me. And they had this meeting with J.J. Ramirez and said, well, we don't want him here at all. Look at this transcript, look at all these referrals, 100 referrals and stuff. And boy, I was court ordered over there, so they said, well, we're going to have to let him in school. So I was, the principal of the alternative school told J.J. word for word, I bet you he's not going to make it. And he said, well, all we can do is try. So I want to go into the alternative school from November 95 till the next school year ended in 96, and I wound up, passing, and all of a sudden I liked school. I even went to summer school, I didn't even have to. And then, I always keep my transcript in my car with me from Houston, and the lowest grade we give is 50s, and I made straight 50s. So when I went to the 9th grade, straight A's. For some reason, I just like school. I don't know why. I just loved it. And in 10th grade, I made straight A's again. They even gave me a plaque, had my name on it. It was an Academic Excellence Award. And at that time, out of 860 students, in my senior class, I was ranked number 3. So I was like, man, God is good. And
Amen.
I knew that the only thing I was good at sports-wise was running from the cops. So I decided to get in. Well, my coach told me, you want to get in track or cross country? I was like, I don't know the difference. What's the difference? I didn't even know what a physical was. Because I really wanted to get in football. And they told me, well, you got to get a physical. I said, where'd I get that at? Well, you got to go to the clinic and you got to pay this money and they got to do this. I said, no, man, I just want to play football. You know? So I wanted to get in cross country, and if I would have known I would have to race 2 miles, I could have never told me. Like, wow, you know what, you must have been to. But I'm glad that I did, because that laid the foundation, you know, my endurance for all the other sports, because I was in varsity track, varsity wrestling, varsity cross country, I was on the gymnastics team, and I played basketball. My favorite sport was wrestling. I only wrestled for 2 years, but I went to state 3 times, qualified for nationals. Even had a partial scholarship until I hurt my knee at state. But after that, I graduated, and I was the first one from my family to graduate. Then I decided to join the Navy. And I joined the Navy. I did 4 tours. I literally been around the world. Active duty for 7 years, got out. Then I got a lot of my schooling, my education, and I was an air conditioning refrigeration technician at Texas A&M University for a year. Then I moved over here to Houston and back in 09, and I'm sorry, 08, no, yes, 09. And I landed a job. I'm a marine engineer now, and God's blessed me with a $100,000 a year job. So God's really been good. On top of that, the thing about it is I had my Montgomery GI Bill. I went to the Navy Reserve, and I'm going to my to college right now, getting my bachelor's in business administration. Everything's paid for. My books, my classes, 100% tuition. Everything's paid for. On top of that, they give me about $1,500 a month to put in my pocket and say, here, thank you for going to school. So God is good, you know. I'm also, last December, I just graduated from Bible college as well. And I have my associates in Bible theology, and I'm still going to college this year to get my bachelor's in Bible theology. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because there are choices you have to make. I'm glad I made the right choice, because if I would have made the wrong choice, I would have ended up with my best friend, Lil Bean, the rapper and stuff. He had it all: fame, fortune, money, women, everything. And right now he's doing a life sentence for murder. And I go see him in the penitentiary. I'm in my uniform, he's in his uniform, and he asked me what happened. I said, the choices you made got you where you're at now. The choices I made got me where I'm at now. So I just tell all you young folks, listen to your parents. I know they might not have everything. I know y'all weren't brought up with a silver spoon in your mouth. In layman's terms, rich, you know. I know that y'all have to struggle and things happen, you know, for certain circumstances, but listen to your parents, because they brought you in this world, and they're actually here to help you become better kids and better students, get out of this system. Because if you're a part of the system and the adult system, it's going to follow you wherever you go. It's going to be very hard to get a job. Same thing with the parents. Parents, be there for your kids. Love on them. Be there for them. Let them know they are somebody and that you love them. Get them to some kind of curricular activities. Get them involved in busy doing things, because if you don't love them the right way, someone's going to love them the wrong way. And then they're going to cling on to that love, because I thought my family were my homeboys. I thought my family were my homies in the hood and stuff. You know, that's what I thought my family was. So, same thing like I said with all these kids. Listen to your parents. Do what you got to do. Go to school. Get your education. I'm telling you, it will be better in the long run. All right? Thank you for your time.